That's not necessarily true. What does he have to do to get the people who haven't bought into him yet?
Well, look. There's a biblical scripture that says a house divided cannot stand. The GOP doesn't get it. It is the GOP who's causing all the division. Look what they're throwing at Donald Trump. And he has been very consistent. You know, he's been trying to unite the party. He's been reaching out to people. What he has done is something that the establishment never got. He united the American people, in this case Republicans, behind him. And as I said, Charles, little rest stop this weekend with that train. He's going all the way.
Although, Ford, I mean, there are a whole lot of Republicans, I mean, very well-known Republicans on the conservative side who say they'll never get on the Trump train. I don't know if he'll need them or not, if he's bringing in all these independents and Democrats, but if you're going to be a uniter, sooner or later, you really do have to start working that magic. If you are elected to the White House, you got to get things done.
Well, I definitely think that Trump is going to have to extend the olive branch here, because I do agree with Steve that we can't beat Hillary Clinton if everyone's not on board. That said, though, look, this is not a done deal yet. Trump is not yet the nominee, and for him to change up his tactics, if I were advising him, would be political malpractice. He's gone scorched earth on everyone, and it seems to be winning. But I would say this, the Republican Party also would be suicidal, as Rupert Murdoch says, if it didn't rally around Trump, if he didn't secure the nomination. The key for Trump is to get those 1,237 delegates.
I don't have any doubt if he gets the delegates that'd be a done deal. I don't think the so-called establishment wants to find him beyond that.
They wouldn't dare.
Right. I agree there. What do you think about what Ford said, though, with respect to lowering expectations? It sounded like Donald Trump was trying to do that a little bit, but we know, you know what, this is Rubio. He may come out swinging, and it won't take long for us to hear about Little Marco and Lion Ted.
Well, you know, what's interesting, what I've been hearing from Donald Trump over the last week is that he's essentially pivoting to a general election posture. So he's talking a lot about unifying the party. He's spent some time on the phone with Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House. He's trying to get different elements of the party to get into the acceptance mode of his possible nomination, and it looks increasingly probable. Now, this race still has some life into it, especially if you ask Senator Ted Cruz, who wants to go one-on-one with Donald Trump, because a lot of the one-on-one polls shows that Ted Cruz actually trounces him. So he wants to force Trump into a one-on-one race. The problem is that Trump has amassed enough delegates now where he will likely remain the leader.
Right, there's no doubt
absent
about
a
that.
total
Monica,
collapse in, say, Florida or
Let me add
Ohio.
on one point here, and that is Trump is a unique political animal. He has several general election positions that are very palpable. The key for him is going to be able to pivot to message discipline and changing his tone and rhetoric a little bit, because really at the end of the day, that's what people are hanging on to. And what he's really good at, he has a media IQ of Einstein, okay? And that is really serving him well, particularly when the Clinton syndicate, should he be the nominee, comes after him.
And I think, Charles, he's beginning to do that by talking unity. He's talking unity while the GOP is talking division. That's where the problem is. They got to come on board.
Well,
look, and
again, it takes some work, though. It takes some work.
In terms of style, though,
yeah.
and we're talking about his brash demeanor, that's carried him very far. I wrote my column about this last week in the Washington Times. Donald Trump is a street fighter. The Democrats have always put up street fighters for decades, and they've won. Republicans tend to put up gentlemen. We love gentlemen, but they don't necessarily win the presidency. Trump, going against, say, the Clinton machine, he's going to have to retain that street fighter.
We got to go, but I do keep saying, though, sort of like, you know, these old school Republicans are fighting with the old rules of boxing, and he came in with that old MMA street fighter stuff, to your point. Thanks a lot, guys. Hey, we know record